Here we go.
There we go. Hello, and welcome back to the Everwind Chronicles. I'm Doug, your Dungeon Master. We are a group of friends and storytellers telling you a story through Dungeons and Dragons. So, as is our tradition, we are going to start off with a couple of questions for characters to answer in character or for their character. The first one, well, I guess not exactly for your character, but have you as a player ever built a character to resemble a specific person?
Or an NPC.
And yeah, okay. And if so, if you're brave enough to say so, who?
I've said it on stream, but Asura is basically like early 20s Terra. Like, I didn't mean to. Didn't intentionally build her. That was not my intention when I walked in. But I quickly realized early 20s Terra dealt with a lot of like anxiety and like like, who am I really, and am I a good person? Because, like, I really was not a great person a lot of the time. And I didn't mean to build her that way. So, in that regard, Asura is accidentally early 20s Terra, like late teens, early 20s Terra. I have a character that I have built specifically based on Mercutio from Romeo and Juliet.
Ooh.
But I've never played them because I haven't had an opportunity yet, but they're my bard character that I've had kind of sitting in the wings. But it's based on the personality of Mercutio, not necessarily the like story arc.
Yeah.
Or like the like ancestry of Mercutio. But because I love Shakespeare a lot, like, and Mercutio was my favorite character I ever played when I did, you know, all of my plays. Yeah, I've got Mercutio sitting in the wings. But yeah, it's there's the accidental young Terra.
Amazing.
I've walked through some of the like, oh yeah, I remember these days. I remember when I felt this way.
Yeah, oh, we put ourselves into our characters to some degree.
You have to a little bit,
absolutely.
but like
A little too much.
sometimes it touched a little too close, and I was like, I don't love that. Don't love that.
Like,
Especially because it's not the pretty parts of me.
Yeah.
I think that's the beauty of doing D&D is that
Therapy.
Yeah, it is.
It's accidental therapy.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even know if it's accidental.
Yeah.
It's just a safe space to go and explore things. Like, I don't feel like I can be vulnerable in real life, so I'm gonna do it in RP.
Yeah.
Just gonna do it that way.
Yeah.
Fair.
So straight up.
I think balance been out for me. It's like a little bit like, hey, I'm working some stuff out. Let me just do this through him a little bit. Yeah. I don't know if I've built a character like directly mimicking. I definitely built a character as kind of a foil. And that was Sarek. I built him as a foil to like each of the party at that time. I was like, yep, this is easy. This is Asura. This is Stoic. I think it's Noah's around it. Well, she was kind of away at that point. But yeah, I definitely, and a little bit of Bear too. But yeah, I was like, since I had the opportunity to build a new character in the middle of a campaign, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna foil. We're just gonna foil everybody. That's gonna be fun.
Everybody.
Yeah.
That's so much fun.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a blast. It was a blast.
I built Abuelita after my mom. Because I was trying to think of, because when we were talking about a character that needed to easily fit into the group, I was like, who's just a really happy, lovable, sweet person? And I was like, my mom with her grandchildren. So I got to build her. So one of the pictures off of the artwork I built was, I sent him a picture of my mom so that she would look like a little bit like the gray hair, the long gray hairs after my mom, where it's just like that salt and pepper. So
Nice.
and she's just really always happy and trying to like help people out, and
we get to be her grandchildren.
Yeah.
It's great.
I really want to meet her now once so that I can
Yeah.
be like, oh, hey, yeah, I've heard about you. I killed you once.
yeah, she has always been very iffy about D&D, so I was very surprised because I did tell her that I had was building a character based around her, and yeah, she was happy to send me a picture, so she would know what you're talking about at least.
There you go.
She might be interested in that. I don't know that I told her actually that
I believe
she died. Yeah.
After just a few episodes, you know.
Yeah.
Perhaps we won't.
Of course, I love
She went on to her next adventure.
Yeah.
She found her husband. That's.
In the spirit realm. Maybe he's dead. Maybe he's dead. It's fine. It'll be great.
She reconnected with her husband. I don't love that. I love that, but I don't love that.
I mean, as far as we know, it's probably the truth.
I hate that.
He's gone for a long time.
It's a long time to be late. I wish he was dead.
I can actually answer that too. There was because I can only think of one right now that out of all the NPCs you've ran into that are those like based on or inspired directly by a character, which was
Bone Man.
no, Draytherian Fallow, the gangster guy that you ran into, is very inspired by Alfie Solomons in Peaky Blinders. It's Tom Hardy's character.
That makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
That makes so much sense.
Yep.
I was like,
but unhinged.
yeah, I was like, I know the
Makes you
vibes
nervous.
are right, but I couldn't. That makes so much
Yep.
sense.
Mhm.
I was ready for a Bone Man. He's actually a coworker of mine. And I'd be like, note to self.
Oh, man. Okay, cool. Second question. So you guys just finished the Abyss. Which layer was the worst for you?
Honestly, the constant noise.
Oh, yeah.
Like
12 trees?
Like
Yeah, 12
Like
trees.
Asura did not like
Action.
the constant noise, but I did not like the constant noise, especially because you had built that soundscape that didn't shut up.
Yep.
I was feeling like I sweated so much in that, like when we were doing that layer, because I was just like, I hate this, and then with the sleep here, fuck this layer.
Yeah.
I hated it
Yeah.
so much as a person and as a character.
Yeah.
Oof, awful.
I think my
Right there,
character as well. I personally hated the descriptions of the flesh
The flesh
stuff.
fetish.
That one I couldn't do. When you told me the ground was like, I was like, no. No.
Yeah. It was gross, even for me.
Yeah, that one I
Point.
hated. But my character definitely the loud noises.
Oh yeah, same. And for Larry too. I hated the loud noises. That really, I didn't realize how much was getting to me till we got out of them. Like,
Yeah, I kept
Oh,
looking
I
across
was
at
like-
you guys and being like, we have to get out of here.
Uh-huh.
I know my character really wants to get out of here, but we have to get out of here.
Yeah, I was starting to. I didn't realize how quick I was gonna start to feel it, because I was like, oh, this is fine. This is really vibey. I like that you have built a whole I was like as an actor and as like someone who just like enjoys storytelling. I was like, oh, this is nice. But then I was quickly like, I don't like this. I don't like feeling this way. I don't like the energy.
Yeah.
My heart is starting to pound a little bit. My hands are sweaty, knees weak. Arms are heavy.
spaghetti.
I'm spaghetti. I want to leave. Please, I would like to leave now.
Funny story, I didn't actually build that until like a day or two before, because I was sitting there revisiting the plan for it, and I was sitting there going like, the horror is so sound-based that it's hard to convey with just regular music, like
Yeah.
what's actually happening, what the effect it has on the characters. And I was just like, you might be horrified of it at first, but over time, you spend time in this place, and
Yeah.
it's gonna drive you insane. Like it actually could
Yeah.
drive you mad if you stay enough time in there. So I was like, I gotta create something.
Yeah.
I used to work in an escape room where it was like it was like constant sound, and even that was not that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It starts to mess with your psyche.
Yeah.
I'm so terrified of your brains.
That is true. That is a good that is a
Yeah.
true statement. Sometimes you say things and I'm like, I don't want to live in your brain. You thought that through, and it was really real in a really dark way. And now I'm sad.
Then I remember the things that I've thought through, and I'm like, no, that's fine. That seems about right.
We're tracking.
Yeah. I was like, the things that Asura has done that I've been like, and I've thought it ahead of time too. It wasn't like, sometimes they weren't impulse thoughts. They were like, I've been thinking about this for 3 weeks. Let me do something horrific.
Yeah.
I'll turn that one around you a little bit. What was your favorite level to build, to create?
Yeah.
Oh man, I can tell you my least favorite was the Flesh Forge, because I'm actually not a fan of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was like, it's disgusting to me.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
disgusting. Yeah.
And some of it was really disturbing, because like the seamstress literally wearing her mother as clothes,
Yeah.
still alive, more or less.
Yep.
Like her soul, basically. And yeah, she's a messed up character. I don't know. The Ocean of Zombies was a pretty cool concept.
I mean,
That one was fun.
that one was
It was
fun.
scary.
It did kill somebody.
it really put us on it really hampered our whole journey.
Oh
through
my gosh,
this.
but thank goodness that you had already built this other... Did you already build the other character knowing that she was going to interact with us that way, or was she originally something different?
No, she was kind of following you guys.
Right, she was following us the whole time. I'm just wondering if she was like who you already like had planned, or did she have to like shift a little bit because we lost our guide?
Knowing the way that Doug thinks, no, she was not. That was not a backup plan or anything. I do not believe that for 1 second.
Yeah, no, it was
Yeah.
just a change because of how things happen.
Uh-huh.
And again, she wasn't going to help you. She was going to get you out, but she wasn't going to help you.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a combination of persuasion and her seeing Stoic's symbol serving Arcthurian that helped persuade her.
Very cool.
Yeah.
She was very cool.
Doug doesn't build safety nets. Not for us.
Yeah, she is a cool character.
Mm-hmm.
Just curious.
She was one of my favorite to create out of the Abyss, for sure.
That makes sense.
Her concept. Maybe Mother's Maze might have been my favorite because it's sort of an extension of her consciousness, and it was interesting to think through her, what she is, even though you didn't really get into it super deep, knowing what she is and what her origin is and all that kind of stuff, and like exploring the juxtaposition of feelings and things you're experiencing in her mind, basically, as you're traveling through it. Why it manifests as a maze, why you were hearing what you hear, why it seemed like a mix of emotions and all that kind of stuff. If we'd had more time, I would have probably had ways to explore or explain that better, and the Prince of Nowhere's relationship with her, but
We did kind of fast track that one level when we were like, boom, okay, run.
which was wise.
No, once we release the prince, it's like now we have to move
Yeah.
out of this whole thing.
Very
Can't fuck around.
wise.
Let's
Nope.
run.
Very wise. So, unless you count Remnant. Remnant was a lot of fun to come up with, too.
I mean, Remnant was pretty awesome.
I kind of really liked the razor field just from like an aesthetic
barb
perspective.
fields, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Field.
that was
yeah.
fun to start in.
Aesthetically, I was like, I liked that was kind of like our first big like space.
Yeah.
Because it immediately made me like, oh, like the ground is lava. Got it. Like it gave me that early feeling of like I cannot breathe safely in this world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although
that's
now
true.
I'm wondering, should we have tried to kill it? Like, I know we ran from it, which felt right at the time, but now knowing that, like, if we killed it, we would have gotten a thing from it.
Probably, but I feel like we were on one of those things where it was like, we're gonna quickly get our asses kicked.
Yeah.
And we don't have a lot of places to do a lot of downtime. And
Yeah.
because we're dungeon crawling, it's like, what's more important right now?
Getting
Potentially
through
the shard
or getting, yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Well, that's kind of the trade-offs, right? The choices you make, because
But I mean, we ended up with some really cool shards.
Yeah,
so.
we did.
Yeah.
he wasn't going to be an easy fight, and you were in a layer where it actually would have hurt to move.
Yeah.
So it actually
That was my
caused
biggest reason
damage.
why I was like, we just have to go.
Yeah,
it
'cause,
seems
like, the
like
ground-
the environment, like, nowhere was.
Yeah, because he had basically she had
The
had-
demon.
Yeah, it had the entire
Yeah.
like land on its side.
Yeah.
Asherak.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was. Yeah, that was a fun layer because like the concept of barbed wire is kind of like the whole layer is like almost like a spider web where if you hit it too hard, it vibrates through the whole layer, and he kind of knows. Was a pretty cool.
It's a cool mechanic.
Ooh, it was super cool, but at the same time I was like,
So glad we're done.
yeah, I'm like,
we're
I
done.
want to leave now.
Yep.
Happy
I
to
don't
be
want to be here.
in the
Well,
next
and
episode.
thinking
Move faster,
through
move
his
faster.
backstory and some of the others, like how they became what they are, was interesting to think through too. It's not just here's a monster and he's bad.
Yeah.
You know,
Uh-huh.
like there's
Layers.
stories to why they are what they are.
Like an ogre.
Like a parfait.
Like a parfait. Onions.
And it's interesting to think about a demon, a pure force of destruction and evil, thinking themselves to be the good guy or the victim at least.
What I mean, isn't that not every story ever?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was a weird hiccup.
So, let's get back into it here.
Yep.
So, where we last left off, the party had just finished successfully traveling through the abyss, the realm of infinite nightmares and horror, with the layers we were just talking about, among others, each of them terrible and horrible to experience and go through. They also...
Sorry.
Sorry, off-camera Tara's like about to open chips and like hesitated.
Because it's like a plastic bag.
Just do it right into the microphone.
Yeah, they're right. Sorry.
Right out.
So sorry. Wait, I'm gonna do it really, really fast. Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Look at that.
All right.
Perfect.
Sorry, I meant to
No one even noticed.
So,
Real life.
so after some terrible things and some really close calls, they finally made their way to the layer called Remnant, or at least a portion of a layer that had been taken over by some trapped celestial creatures, and that had grown in number as more tried to go rescue the Elythian children trapped there, and ended up kind of carving out their own existence and in a way redeeming a part of the abyss in us, or at least seemingly so. And so they finally arrived and began meeting all of these strange, unfathomable creatures from other layers or other planes, where they also finally met Hera, the Emerald Dragon, Valen, the leader of Valen's order, former leader of the Eldrin, and one of the seed dragons from the very beginning of creation as you know it, after the divide. And so one of the ancestors or forefathers of all dragons, and mate of Alanya, the Dragon of Mirrors, who sent them on this quest. He had a very meaningful conversation with Valen, talking about his journey and meaning behind his journey, and even possibly some ways to think through and process and possibly even resolve or become at least at peace or one with the terrible things that happened to him in becoming a monarch. And interestingly also, Asura met her grandmother, a deva named Zatanna, who told the backstory of how she met the human she fell for, and how they got separated from him and her daughter, and just spent time connecting with Asura, who now has a living family member that she knows of, that she can connect with, and had another meaningful conversation about her own identity and bloodlines. And so they also met with what's called the Council of Eight, which were 8 extremely powerful beings who more or less ruled Remnant, and made decisions, and told them about the mirror, and they explained that a lot of creatures will go, but a lot of them will stay, because they have come to believe that this place is a miracle. It is succeeding where no other efforts through all of time have succeeded against the abyss. Almost like a reverse cancer. And believe that if they stay and continue to be present and grow, that it could possibly grow and maybe with enough time be the tipping point in finally getting rid of the abyss. It might take eons and eons and eons, but you know, for an eternal being, that's time. Time's not really an issue. And so they gave some time to let them decide, and were given a blessing and additional abilities as a thank you for the help for the daring mission and effectively rescue. And the party, well, really, Hira entered, set up the mirror, and they began to enter through. But before we do that, we are going to rewind, just briefly, to Rowan. After the rest of the party went to find Hira, Rowan had decided she had her own mission to complete. She wasn't here for Hira, she was here for something else. And so after talking with the Radiant Warden briefly, he sent for 2 other individuals who came and approached you. The first one it's gonna be blank for a second.
Yep. Let me pull up my stuff just in case I need to do some adjusting.
The first one
It's right at the top.
introduces himself as Threx.
Threx.
He explains that he's a warrior himself, but played more of a role of a scout. He's very fast and very sharp eyes, and played a scout for Morin's forces most of the time. The second one who approaches is her. She introduces herself as Zalenthia, and I want you to roll a history or religion check.
Okay.
Choice. In fact, you can do so with advantage because you've been.
Okay. Natural 20.
Hey!
All right.
Look at that.
You very much know who she is.
Amazing.
Not in person have you met her, but because she was gone long before you were born. But you know she is a person of certain fame among the Twilight Elves and among the many creatures who serve Morin. She was Morin's former champion.
Oh. Amazing.
She has done many great things throughout history on behalf of Morin, and whether it be accomplishing great missions or defending her purposes, and at times even the Twilight Elves themselves and other creatures of the Soul Shade. She's a legendary name. And so as they approach you, and you see, for the first time, not being in the Soul Shade, you see what other people see when they look at the Sable Guard or creatures of sufficient power, where as you look at her, the edges of your vision darken. And so they approach, and after a brief introduction, Threx says, kind of tilts his head, and he says, "You are no Sable Guard, and yet," and he kind of like turns and he holds out a hand, and your Threshmount manifests, and like immediately seems to recognize him and starts showing affection. And he says, "I have trained many of these in the past."
I look at and I go, did he train you? You know who this is?
And he just kind of like nods.
This This is very cool. I'm wearing my mask, by the way, because it's so bright, like all of the white. I think I have like a sunshade basically in my mask, to help with that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm fangirling a little bit. We've got the champion. We got this guy. Oh my gosh, very cool. I think I stand there just shocked for a minute, and then I'll reach into my bag and pull out a locked box that I open, and then inside is like a really lightweight fabric that's very. It's all wrapped around, and I open it slowly and present the seed. And I say, I brought this for you guys. I was told that it was important.
The woman steps forward and she speaks with a deep, kind of rich voice and brings to mind images of like dusk and shadow as it should be, not as a representation of dark, like evil or bad.
Yeah.
It's like just natural.
Like home,
Natural.
basically.
Yeah, darkness as it is, just natural. And she says, "Is this what brought you to us, Sister of Twilight?"
Yeah, I was hired to bring this here.
And she reaches and takes the box and opens it. And you haven't opened it before, right?
Right.
And so what you see inside is an oval about this big. And it seems to be translucent, like a dark stone almost. But inside you see this kind of shimmering kind of umbral light inside. This like golden shimmer.
Yeah, and I think that's different than what I expected, because I think I was told that it was a seed, but I never looked at it because I was like, it's just a seed. But yeah, that's very cool.
And he, who has been kind of petting your thresh mouth for a second, kind of freezes when he sees it. And do you know what this is?
No, it's different than what I thought it was.
What did you think?
I didn't really think much into it. It was just told it was a seed and that was important to bring to you.
It is indeed an incredibly rare ones. One of the most rare things in our home plane. It's the seed of an umbral oak.
Do I know what that is?
Roll a, let's see, this would be nature check, I think.
24?
Yes, in fact, I think you might have seen one in the distance, maybe never been where
Okay.
it is, but it's, you might know some basic details of it. It is a tree that takes about 2,000 years of active cultivation to grow to full maturity, to the point of maturity of producing a pair of seeds,
Okay.
which it will only produce two. But with the two seeds, when planted, connect to each other
Very cool.
across any distance or across planes,
Okay.
creating a stable hole through the universe between them.
And I think I've seen the other one on my home plane.
Yes. You've seen the parent.
Oh, okay.
You might, in fact, I would venture to say you did see it actually when you went to visit the people who sent you on this mission.
Okay.
And they said, "Do you know what an umbral oak does?"
I have a pretty good understanding of it, yeah.
It would allow us to connect Remnant to the Soul Shade.
Is that safe?
As long as Remnant is what it is, yes.
Well, It's very cool. My home is gonna play a big part in stuff then.
Indeed. You make it possible for many who wish to stay here to do so.
Safely.
And receive reinforcement and supply and news to become a true battlefront. A new war front instead of a prison cell. A base of operations in the abyss. It will change things.
Did you know it was on its way? Did Enraya tell you that I was coming?
The mother blocks communications. We cannot receive any word but those who come here.
Mm.
And so no. It is a rare thing to earn the trust and respect of the Shrouded Ones. They do not respect easily.
It was a difficult journey, but I did what I had to do.
Well, you were entrusted with something truly precious, and you have responded with bravery and diligence.
Got kind of lucky. If I had tried to get here on my own like I originally planned, I don't think I would have made it. But Morin watched over me and made sure the stars aligned.
And so you had help.
Yeah, the group I came in with. I wasn't sure about them, but they kept their word and yeah.
That is good. Your bow will shoot truer with others to aid your shot.
It'll be nice not traveling alone. I'll say that. But I've got other things I need to do now that I've completed my end of my arrangement with Enraya. But I'm glad and grateful that the people that I could hand off this precious gift to were my own.
You are not Sable Guard. Are you some other servant of Morin?
I'm not Sable Guard. My brother was supposed to be going to train with them, and my mentor used to be Sable Guard, which is why I have some of. I tried a couple years ago to go off on my own to do an important mission, and I took some of his things. Eventually, he found out and convinced me to wait a bit longer and to continue training, which obviously turned out because it was that other things that I did for Morin and for the Sable Guard, not directly, but my other work is what I think helped get me in with the Shrouded Ones, and for them to know that I at least was not a corrupt force in our realm.
I see. And yet still, competence does not explain purpose. To leave the Soul Shade and travel into such abomination. Why have you done this?
You know, the Lady of Scorn has plagued our people for a long time. She took some people that were close to me and I wanted them back.
And she kind of turns and looks at Thrax, and he says, I am aware of this Lady of Scorn. Zelenthia came before her time, came here before her time, but I was there when she caused the Hungarian crisis, however long ago it was now. I lost more than one friend in that time.
We thought we were free of her when we banished her from our plane, but that is not proven true. I found one of her servants in our travel in the Abyss, though he was no match.
And you wish to face her?
I do. Or at the very least, if I can't on my own, I know that the Shrouded Ones promised me to aid in getting those that are held set free. And I reach into my bag and grab the teleportation. And I have a way for them, an easier way for them in now.
That could be useful.
Oh, I'm very excited to make her pay for what she's done to our people.
To face her will reveal the depths of your courage.
I have more courage than I thought I did, because the Abyss is the worst. It's literally the worst. And I kept pushing forward, and I am proud of that.
There's a moment, and Zelenthia nods and says, very well. Every terror that sought to devour you has only strengthened your resolve. Your honor is proven and deserves it in kind. When we return from this plane, we must first return to Morin, for many of us have sensed a growing trouble or imbalance in the universe, and we must learn more. However, once that is resolved, I make you this oath. When you determine yourself ready to face her, call to me, and I shall come to your aid. And Threx says, I too make this oath, to aid you in facing her when you call. And she says, we offer you our help, not as servants of the goddess of death, but as witnesses to her of your honor. Together we will send her soul to Morin, and your honor shall attest against her in that judgment. And then you will have won freedom for those you love.
Oh, yeah.
Come, let us plant the seed.
Perfect timing.
Oh, I forgot to turn off sound. No, do not disturb.
So, they lead you through the city and kind of up into the city's kind of nestled, and there's a little bit shorter mountain top at the back, and they lead you up to the top of this, and there's some stairs and everything that lead up there. They lead you to the top, and they find a place kind of beside there's a stone kind of platform at the top, but then there's some natural stone and dirt at the end, and she takes it and just with a hand just scoops out earth in one swipe, and then plants the seed, and then replaces the earth, and then you see kind of dark energy, like almost shadow, just sort of emanate out from her hand, and almost like it's responding to it. And you get, there's something about it that you almost feel like it's the very essence of the soul shade itself somehow being emanated from her. And as if in response to that, and whatever other power she's using at the moment, she then lifts her hand and you see a sprout. Just like a single weird looking, almost like a tentacle, but harder. It's very odd. But then it continues to grow, and she steps back, and you just watch it slowly growing.
I think I'm not like on my knees, like crouched down beside it, and I just am like, I like pat it at one point just gently, and say, "Welcome home."
And eventually, it slows down its growth.
Oh my gosh!
Like that. It's a very unusual looking tree. Almost can't call it a tree, but apparently it is.
Does it look like this in the soul shade, or does it look different? Like, is the gold because of where it is now?
In the soul shade, the light inside of it is drowned out by the light it gives off in the soul shade, creating an almost like it's a silhouette with like gold light behind it. But in this realm, that it's like the reverse. That external light is drowned out and the light within is coming out. And you can see it slowing. It's like it reached a point and then has slowed down. She says it will take much more time to grow the rest, but it should be ready to use shortly for its intended purpose.
It's so beautiful.
The ones you came with, we were told that Eldrin came seeking the Emerald Dragon. Were these them?
Yeah, they said something about him to me, and then something about the barriers in between planes coming down or something. Or a rip, I think.
I see.
We chatted a little bit about their mission for coming, but I didn't know them well enough to be like, I don't know. I didn't pay that much attention because I thought it was bullshit.
It is not. The Eldrin guard the veil between planes. If not for the veil, the universe would collapse into a singularity of destruction and chaos. A true ending. They are not unlike the Sable Guard in that way. They protect the integrity of the universe and its nature. It is a greatly honorable oath to take, and they are deserving of great respect. Hira, the Emerald Dragon, was their former leader before he came here. If they have risked so much to come through the abyss and reach the dragon here, then it is no doubt that matters of grave threat to the entire universe are present.
I see. Guess we'll have to find out what those threats are then.
And so you will have a choice. You may return to Moran with us as we learn the nature of this threat and serve her in our own way. or you may continue with them. The bonds built in war are not to be taken lightly. Think on this.
I will.
But whatever your choice, you would benefit, if you'll permit me, from some teaching. Would that we had more time, I could teach you more. But for now, I can teach you some small bit of magic that will help you with whatever team you end up fighting with.
It would be my honor to train under you.
Very well. So, she spends some time teaching you silvery barbs.
Let's go.
And after a time, you see they eventually come up the stairs and see you guys talking toward the end of your training there, and rejoin you. After which, you see a shimmer in the tree, in the center of the tree, a light followed by a black hole that opens in the middle of it. And after a moment, out walks Raya.
There she is.
That's who we met in the Feywild.
That's who hired me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We were like, oh shit, we met you at the library.
Yep. Who converses briefly and solemnly with the rest of them and explains her plan, which was this. Not knowing there was another plan in the works, but while their plan will work once and help escape, this plan
It's permanent.
will help the war against the Abyss itself.
Yeah.
This is the permanent entrance, the permanent backup line to supporting that war.
You guys thought too small.
I didn't think at all. I was just doing what I was told. This is incredible.
And so, her people are ready to receive any who want to come and are aware of the traversal, and she goes off to speak to the Council of Eight as well and have their own council. So,
Okay.
but after a time, you guys gather together and step through the mirror.
Can I, with Enraya, just leave her the teleportation thing and just say, if I can't make it through, you promised. This will get you to her.
And I shall fulfill my vow, always.
Thank you. And then I'll go.
Okay. So she takes it from you and you part ways.
So are you coming with us?
I think that I'm going with you for now. Are we splitting at different points, or?
I mean, everybody who's leaving is going through the mirror.
Okay.
So you would not be going back to the Soul Shade. You'd be coming with us. Do you want to come with us?
Yeah. With the world at stake, I'll go on one last mission with you.
Yes, the world is very much at stake. Turns out, shit is getting rough out there. The Veil is getting awfully cheesehold.
Yep. Yes.
Also, have you met my Grania?
I'm amazing. Yeah, I think because I had time to think about it. Yeah, I will travel with you.
Good.
I'm not sure if you have to like sign an oath or anything to be part of the Hilton, but you know.
We can find out.
Yeah. They're cool people. Just protecting the veil.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Judgment's a little wonky. I mean, they're trusting us with it. So.
Yeah, listen. They don't call us the Folly for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
is that what you're called?
I guess we haven't.
Yeah, so we kind of self-named, but we also kind of self-owned in that name.
Yes.
We are the Folly of the Dark Dragon. However, it seems like most people don't
You're
know the second.
serving not a dark dragon.
No. We are the Folly of the Dark Dragon. Because, like dumbasses, we walked into a black dragon's lair without the ability to know what the fuck was going on at the time. We kicked its ass, though. But we absolutely looked like dipshits while we were doing it.
This is true.
Yeah. At the time, the name felt important.
It's kind of just.
It's
It went from the Folly of the Dark Dragon
To
to
the
like
Folly.
just the Folly because
Because we
Less
are...
confusing.
you hang out with us enough, you will find out.
Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah, we kind of bumblefuck our way through these situations.
This is also
So
true.
I just wanted you to be aware. To make an informed choice before you decide to hang out with us.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Because we are kind of dumb fucks.
But I have it on good authority that you're trying to do the right thing.
On good authority.
I'd say this is also true.
Yeah. We try to keep a low profile, though.
Unsuccessfully.
Very unsuccessfully, but we do try. But we do have a history of losing clerics.
That's excellent. I'm not a cleric.
Just wanted you to have a heads up about that.
If I see one, I'll tell them to run the other way.
No, we want one.
It would be helpful.
Yeah. I mean, I want one particular one, but...
That's also very fair.
Or two
yeah.
particular ones. We've got two particular ones.
That is also very fair.
If you want her.
I mean,
Well, if she wants you. Really, it's more her choice because I know how you feel, but I don't exactly know. Anyway, welcome to the most ridiculous thing you will ever meet in your life.
glad to have you. For as long as you're willing to stay.
Really, it is really incredible. I've not threatened her one time yet.
You have shown a lot of growth.
Thank you.
You did get to knock me out, though.
I did. That was
So
fun.
maybe that
Thank you for
makes
the
up
cape,
for
by the
it.
way. It is very swishy.
Yeah.
Kind of
It
offset.
looks better on you than it did on me.
Thank you. I feel like shit a little bit while wearing it, but it has come into my advantage. You win some, you lose some. Anyway, mirror.
Yeah, let's go.
This is my Grenia. I don't know if I told you this yet.
She's beautiful. Hello.
you.
But yeah, before
I just kept showing off my, I don't know people in line. There's random people that are just kind of around
They all
waiting for this
already
mirror.
know her?
They all, who already know her. But I am introducing her as my grandmother to everybody.
It's like an 8-year-old.
A Syrup is suddenly a very excited 8-year-old with a new toy. Let me show off this new thing I
This
have.
is my Grania.
Yeah.
Have you seen my Granny yet?
Yeah, it's it's
Yeah.
the most bizarre energy you've ever seen from a Syrup, but she's giddy about this.
I love that.
Uh-huh.
Poor guy in the back's yep, heard 3 times.
Hundreds of beings. Eternal beings.
Yep.
This is my Grania.
Yeah.
She's pretty cool.
She's been here for so long. Sorry.
I know 3 facts about her.
Yeah, we've kind of been here with her for a
She's
couple
tall,
thousand
she's
years.
hot, and she's my grandma.
They're like, we know.
Yeah.
She talks about you. But yeah, before we walk through, after, I'm probably at the end of the people who are walking through the mirror.
Yeah.
And I just look back at the tree, longingly to be going that way because my people are that way. But there's no use saving your people if the world also then ends. So, I follow you guys.
Holy here's hand. Yep.
And I watched this interaction rather jealously.
So, you cross through the mirror. It's a far more pleasant, or really just neutral experience crossing the planes that you guys have experienced so far. You've gotten used to sort of bracing yourself crossing layers of the abyss.
Mhm.
There's no lurch of nausea. There's not even that same kind of pull in your stomach as if you're falling, like, sensation that you've had going into other planes in the past. It's a lot smoother transition. And then you find yourself stepping out into darkness and color. You look around and find yourself inside of a grand cavern. Massive. Did not know cave could be this large. But it is. And within it is a city. A city of stone buildings. And it takes you a second to realize, like, what you're looking at, but you realize it's buildings, but it's a strange experience because the light is shifting prismatic colors. And then your eyes follow, like, up behind you. The ground kind of goes up, the rocks go up to a spot kind of elevated above the city, where you see a large prismatic boulder that is shedding light for the whole city in this cavern. And you feel something in this light. It's not the same as, like, divine energy that you feel when you're healed or in experiences you've had along those lines, but there's something good about it. It's kind of hard to put your finger on, but it almost feels like the opposite of the abyss. There's, like, something similar about it, but it's like the other end of the spectrum, so to speak. It's weird. Like, you can't even truly explain how it feels, but it feels cleansing in some way. You step out in what's also interesting, though. You step out and there's a small crowd of people gathered. And these people, their skin seems a little bit darker than normal. And interestingly, that's the case for all the different races you're seeing. Elves, dwarves, gnomes, orcs, goblins, humanoids of all sorts. And all of them with a prismatic shimmer on their skin. The whole town seems to have this shimmer, almost like this boulder is leaving parts of itself on everything it touches with time. But you also see Hira, who led the procession through the mirror, standing, both hands with Alanya, foreheads together, something passing between them that's beyond words. And then you see the procession of celestial beings coming out of the mirror. casting their own light sometimes. Many of whom immediately flash and disappear, transporting themselves to whatever place they're going to, perhaps back to their own plane. Hira walks up to you guys after some time with Alanya by his side, and Alanya, looks at each of you, still with that kind of unnerving presence of hers when she's close to you.
Mm-hmm.
But she says, "What you have done for me is something I thought impossible. And there are no words that can capture how grateful I am. Thank you." And she, one by one, like each of you, basically kind of reaches up and then kisses you on the forehead.
You're welcome. I did all the work.
In the time since we last saw each other, and I saw Induriel, and he bid me give you this. And she pulls out a small box, which, give me a second, I lost the illustration for.
What's in that box?
What's in the bag?
It's exactly what we think it is.
Yep, it's a hen.
Yeah. Whose head would it be?
Stoic.
I look over to me, next to me is Stoic, and I'm like,
It's a shadow!
It's a shadow! I got him!
I paid your girlfriend a visit.
Oh,
Arcane. It looks like this.
okay.
Oh, that's amazing.
Do some slight adjusting here.
And she says, he believed that if you succeeded, it would be inevitable that you would be, at some point, seeking to find Itherian. If you do find him, if things seem dire, open it, but only at the time of utmost need.
understood.
And, Hira, kind of looks over and kind of looks at you for a second. And it's probably best you let her in on things.
We'll give her the rundown.
Good.
Yes.
Agreed. That would be helpful.
Well, my hope is that you're helpful.
I will be.
Excellent.
We have a new friend, but we lost a friend on our journey. Abuelita. We've carried her body home with us. We're just not sure what to do with it.
You didn't.
Yeah, we did. No, we took her with us.
You traded her for the flesh.
No, because we ended up making the shorter.
No,
did.
we traded her. She
We
got
did?
she
For
got sucked
the
into
pop
ceiling
up,
and
the
everything.
the Pokemon ball.
I thought we took her
You-
back.
No, she was
Then I-
not you.
We tried, and then she
I have
said
her
for the
lock of hair.
Pokemon.
I have her lock of hair.
Yeah.
Reverse. For some reason, I thought we'd undo. No, we undo my blood. That was
We
what
undid
it
your
That's
blood.
what we did.
Yeah.
That is what we
Sorry,
did.
sorry. Keeping track of everything. We had to make a terrible sacrifice for help in that journey. But I brought back a lock of her hair. And I don't know what to do with it now. She was looking for her husband. He was somewhere lost in one of the plains. He was... I'm unsure. I know that probably you all know a lot more about what his mission was, but this is all we have of her.
Well, I'm sorry. It is never easy to lose a loved one.
We hardly knew her. I just wanted someone to know. I don't even know her people. To give them a message.
Well, I don't know her, but if you want to give it to me, I can see what I can find after this crisis is over.
I would like that. I just want someone to know who left her.
Which, by the way, she was an Eldrin.
Yes, I know. That's why I said. That's why I was talking to Alanya and him. That one of you would probably know.
Oh yeah,
like
because
what
he doesn't.
Yeah, but one of you would know what his mission was, because the Eldrin knew what his mission was and what her mission was. But I just want one of her family, her loved ones, to know.
Nalani says, "We will do what we can."
Thank you. What is this place?
It is a secret. It's a place that I have kept secret since the beginning. Before the Divide, when the Fire Lords rebelled, you know the story of one who fell. One of the Fire Lords who fell and whose heart you just passed through. But you may also have heard that one of the ones fighting for the good side, as you might call it, also fell. That is what remains of his heart. And she looks up at the boulder.
It's a very big heart.
There are many who come drawn to it away from situations and peoples who are far more violent or wicked or difficult, and seek relief and redemption here, like a lesser version of what I have done for you. And it is from this boulder that I drew the heart shard itself.
Everyone seems to be touched by this heart, this light.
Are there as many layers to it as there were to the abyss?
No. It is more than a rock, but not of the same nature. It is the nature of evil to be ever growing. It is infinitely hungry, infinitely disastrous. It will grow forever, seeking to take over the entire universe if it can. This stays. He was a being of peace and contentment.
Did he have a name?
Yes. Give me a second. Tennel.
Temple?
Unlike the one whose heart you passed through, whose name has been struck from existence.
Are all the people here like me? Or they've gone through some kind of...
No, they have not been through something. Very, very few have been truly redeemed in the way, the nature of yours. That is more intense and was required. In such situations as you or Enthras and others, Orthocris, required far more drastic measures. This is gentler, slower, but less potent in the immediacy.
I'm glad they have access. I'm glad it's much easier for them.
Have any tieflings ever come here?
Yes. A few.
In the last decade or so?
I do not live here, but I know of some who have come. So I do not know all who currently dwell. Hira kind of looks up at it, kind of his head tilted a little bit, and he says, I could be mistaken, but I believe if you were to spend some time bathing in its light, it would relieve you of any unwanted symptoms of the abyss, if you had anything you wish to get rid of. But if you gain something you wish to keep, I would not do so.
You mean more crystals?
That's what kind of gathering there.
Yeah, if you want to keep your shards, don't get too close to them, basically.
Understood.
Don't stay too long. Got it.
Right.
We still have much to do.
We do.
I'm not entirely sure what it means now bringing Hira back in regards to our Fey motherfucker.
Well, I think I have an idea. So Lanya and I will return to Lorethel. I'm going to have a lot of things to catch up on.
The real has done much in your absence.
And I think there's going to be a lot of work to do in the immediate future. But I think I can trust you to carry out what I would originally set out to do when I was distracted by this side trip. I was tracking Ditherion. He had stolen the Void Blade and I was pursuing it. As such, I can grant you the ability to see its trail.
Oh,
That would be amazing.
we've only ever seen it in our dreams.
If what you have told me of those dreams is true, he's traveling through planes none of us even understand or know about. I can't guarantee anything, really. Who knows what you'll encounter. But if you wish to stop Tharian, if you wish to stop Lucrin from coming through, we are going to need that sword.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good. That's simple then.
Sure, it sounds super simple.
When you say it like that.
But I mean, that blade does horrific things. So.
Well, not only.
Sure, but
It is neither good nor bad. It was made to be able to pierce the veil if needed, as sometimes it might, and made to repair the veil. Much like a needle. Can be used for sewing and repairing, or less savory endeavors.
certainly seen the latter recently.
How do we get this ability?
Done. Well, it hasn't traveled through here. I'll have to send you where I stopped.
Mm-hmm. That was the least painful or awkward or...
You didn't have to get stabbed in the chest.
Exactly.
Would you like to be?
No, prefer not.
I do have very big claws. I could...
I know you could. And we do have to spar later, but no, I prefer not.
I look forward to learning what you have learned.
Likewise.
Could we at least have a quick bite before we go?
Yes, and I would advise getting out your winter clothes.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We do that.
Yeah. I start immediately. I'm like, I'm glad I still have some of this shit back.
So you take up seats at just some rocks that are sitting around and sit down to rest and eat, even though you feel fully refreshed coming out of Remnant after that bath. And
Less about taking a rest and more of like, Asura wants to give him a few more minutes to be with his people now. Asura wants a couple more minutes with her grandmother, because I think this is going to be a goodbye for a while. Just like a quick,
sure.
a moment of peace and like safety before bullshit starts happening again. But she is going to turn to her Grania. I'm guessing you are going to be going... I don't know which direction.
Yes, I'll be returning to Celestia.
And I'll be heading into more danger.
As will I. Must run in the family.
You have no idea how much danger I've run into in my short life so far. I kind of like escort her a little further away from everyone so they can't hear what I'm about to tell her. When Mother cast the shadow on me to keep me safe as a child, there was a devil who facilitated that arrangement. And this devil has figured me out now that my shadow is gone. And has offered me a deal. Pretty powerful deal. One in which there are some additional arrangements that I have not made. I'm still tied to Mother in some way. I've died a couple times now, and it's a complicated discussion, but they've been brought back every time, but I don't see Morin when I go. I see Father. And he knows that I exist. And he knows that I'm called to where he is. And I don't exactly trust this devil very much, but he said that what I'm actually being drawn back to is Mother, not him. And I don't know if that means she's still alive with him, or if that her essence is still with him, her soul. I'm not sure what is still locked there. I am having to make a lot of assumptions based on the word of someone who has no problem lying.
It would not surprise me if it is not Asmodeus drawing you. He might. It is not inconceivable that he would have or be allowed a time with you before. But no one can escape Morin's judgment at death.
So you're saying it was only a temporary breach?
I am saying it seems likely that you might face him after death, but from there it would be up to you. There are those who face her but have arrangements to go certain places. And the devils are very fond of those arrangements. It's very common for them.
The thing is, it's not an arrangement I made, but one that I believe was made on my behalf.
I don't believe any arrangement could have caused that. I think it would be more likely that it's just the nature of your ties to him.
Which brings me back to the conversation that I had with this particular devil. I fear to say his name because I think I would attract him.
That would be quite interesting in our present company.
It very much would be, but I don't want him to know this place. Not if it is a safe haven. But he said that he would offer me a weapon to kill my father if ever I were to come into his possession again. I know why
he's devised a way, but needs a way to get close to him.
This devil wants his place. Wants his
As all
power.
devils do.
But Alanya showed me a vision once. I would have to give him that throne, for I could easily take it.
So he offers you a place in his kingdom.
No, not directly. I think if I were to kill my father, I could prevent him from ascending altogether.
history check for me real quick.
Okay. That's my interpretation of what I saw. Okay. 16?
Okay. He did. He offered you basically to be his right hand.
Okay.
So if he takes his place...
So what I saw was is the right hand of the throne?
Yeah, you
Okay.
basically being
Okay.
second to...
To the king.
Yeah, second to one of the most powerful
Yeah.
then beings of the universe, and that he has a way to get there, but because you're going to go talk to Asmodeus at death,
Yeah.
you have a way to carry it, basically, to him. You can get to him. Like an assassin.
Yeah. And I could be his right hand. It is a possibility. And pardon the pun, but it is the devil you know versus the devil you don't. I know what type of person my father is. I watched it unfold. But the other one, he is still very much a mystery. I know what he has been capable of in my short time. He has done horrific things to my friends. But would he be a better option? Should I even attempt it? I want to avenge my mother so badly. But what would I be doing in the process?
If it is in the terms of his contract, any devil will honor it. But almost no contract of a devil will work in your favor at the end. Perhaps he will be one of the more powerful beings of this universe in the end, but still under his command.
I would not want that. I know that I would not want that. But I don't know if my desire to kill my father would be a net positive. I've seen what he did to my mother.
I have only known you a short time now.
Very short.
But I have fought and known many devils. You are no devil, despite whatever blood you might carry. Don't let him turn you into something you're not.
I know that, but Mother deserves to see the man who hurt her. He deserves to die for what he did to her. He deserves endless pain and agony.
Your mother is unfortunately one of very, very many who suffer at his hands.
And how am I supposed to live if I know that?
You would find no complaint from me if Asmodeus were to die. But I do not know this other devil or what he may or may not do. And for all Asmodeus is, Asmodeus does understand much about the universe. And what is too much to risk destroying it entirely. Asmodeus wishes to rule it, but this is We speak of things that are very, very difficult to understand, but there's much in the universe that is a careful set of balances and laws. Asmodeus plays within that system, but other devils may not. And if they decide to do the wrong thing, it could be disastrous. Or perhaps worse. Perhaps he wins. Perhaps this devil is even worse and more clever than Asmodeus, which seems inconceivable to me, but so does the idea of something that could kill him. But in my experience, all the good that has come in this universe has been simple choices that the creatures within it make, for good or for evil, for noble causes or for selfishness, for light and dark. Dark in the analogy sense. I know and respect forces like those of Mask or Morin who have an affinity for shadow and darkness as it is meant to be. But I don't think that you should make the risk of... I don't think you should make the mistake of trading evil for evil. And no ending of evil is worth becoming evil yourself.
It's just hard when you've grown up without power.
It is tantalizing.
Very much so. I just feel like I carry too much sometimes. I'm still very young.
What I have found is power is just as likely to bring on burden as it is to alleviate it. Have you not found it to be so as you have grown in your own?
I have found that choices become larger and more permanent as things go along. And I don't always like how they feel.
Imagine for a moment you take the steel. You sit at this other devil's right hand, one of the most powerful beings in the universe. Do you think you'll truly be able to do what you wish? You might be able to do some things, but in truth, everyone who does what you say will only do so at the force of your hand. You will rule in violence, for there is no other way. You will have to use that power to enforce your will. And then you will do so in a way that guards against the war with this abyss that you just passed through. For all eternity, you will be at war. for all eternity you will be at war with me and my kind, among many other beings and creatures that find themselves in opposition of devils at one time or another. You will have quotas of souls that you will have to meet. You will become the signatory of your own contracts on mortal souls to serve under you. And at all times within all of those things and the infinite levels of politics across the planes, you will have to guard against everyone who serves under you, because every single one of them will be trying to overthrow you. You might accomplish a simple goal or two, certainly, but at what cost? I would say, although some mortals find this cliche, to have faith. Asmodeus and the Abyss and all these others are not the only forces in the universe at work. And evil is not the way to overcome evil.
You know, there's a great irony here. To literally sit betwixt light and dark. And I tend to not really like the gods too much. And yet I am divinely favored in a way. And I don't really fuck with evil either, well, not intentionally. And yet it is always licking at my heels. It's a strange way to live one's life, I will say. But there is an old adage that the elders used to say when I was a child. Chiaroscuro, which means the light and the dark. Generally they were just referring to like light and shadow, but there is also a sense of the lightness of it and the darkness of it walking astride each other. Always in handheld, never parted. It is an interesting thing, I think. I am coming to find.
Well, as I said, there is a place in the universe for darkness. And there are ways to operate in that and still be good. But there's no way to operate in evil and be good.
I just kind of like hug her.
And she returns up.
Thank you for talking with me and finding me. And for accepting me as I am. Please take care of yourself. I don't want this to be my only chance of getting to know family. I will grow old before you will. But I hope I will make you proud in the life I live. For as long as it is.
Well, you are at least 3/4 immortal blood. Who knows?
I do know an immortal, so that would be very interesting if it turned out we both lived a significantly longer period of time. She always talks about how she'll be forever alone. Would it not be funny if she was stuck with me for a very long time?
Well, the good thing about being an angel is that death does not necessarily mean I can't see you.
And knowing that I will still have to face Morin is a strange sort of comfort.
Yes.
My soul is not a clean one, I will say that, but perhaps she will look upon me favorably in the end. If she's not too mad at me sometimes cursing her name. With the rest of them. Granted, the whole pantheon, I have definitely cursed them out at least once. Times 100. Plus 6.
She kind of puts, kind of takes her shoulders and kind of feeling that fullness of her divine otherness, that emanation of power from her. And she just smiles and says, "What I know is that I'm proud of you. And I believe I will be in the end as well."
I will do my best.
I have faith in you.
I have faith in me too. And faith in you.
Now, take a breath. We both have work to do.
Yes, ma'am.
She gives you one more hug. And she gives you another smile and disappears in a flash of light.
Jesus fucking Christ. Let's wait to make an exit, I guess. Walk my way back to
That's how you make an exit.
Yeah, that's how you make an exit.
You don't just go, all right, I'm going to turn around and go now.
You don't like how I do exits? I'm just like, okay, bye, I'm leaving now. My awkward just walk away.
Very much, yeah.
I was kind of hoping I at least got some of that awkwardness from her, but no. Perfect, kind-hearted, pretty as fuck.
So, not too long after that, Hira approaches you again and just says, "Well,
Yes,
Duty calls.
time to go.
good. I can send you to where the trail last left off."
A couple thousand years ago.
But we can wish you great success.
Thank you.
And as you're talking, one of the people of the city, who you saw Alanya and Hira at different times talking to briefly, an elf, kind of looks like is or was a wood elf at one point and has that same kind of shimmer to them as the rest of everyone else, approaches, and you just overhear briefly, it just says, "Stoic Songsteel." And Stoic just, "Yeah." I know you have much to do, but I would ask, if you finish and you succeed, to promise to return here, at least briefly, when this is all over. So, he mumbles something that you don't overhear, or that you don't hear, and he
Not kidding.
No, I'm like kind of wishing I did, because I'd have been like,
and he just nods and walks back off. So,
It's time to go. On to the next journey.
welcome
Excellent.
aboard.
Always moving.
will see you soon.
I hope so. And thank you.
Thank you. You get to finish my job for me. All right. Ready?
Sure.
Yes and no, but yes.
All right. And he waves a hand, and you see this flash of green, and you are blasted by cold. You find yourself standing in a forest. Snow on the ground, and it is cold.
Mm-hmm.
Probably colder than you felt before. It is an ancient, dead forest. Seemingly, you get this feeling. It's eerie in a way. Not like there's something wrong per se, but it's just it's too quiet. There's no animals that you can hear. No wind. Just silence. It gives the impression almost like this forest is frozen in time. Maybe not in the same way as like when Bolgash stopped time, but like just a timelessness to this place, like it's immune in some strange way. But you find yourself in this forest, and you look, and in the distance you see well, the first thing that catches your eye is right through your midst you see, kind of floating, about 4 feet or so off the ground, a trail of black mist. And you follow it up through the forest, leading up to, in the distance, a very simple stone tower, maybe 4 stories tall, very plain. No decoration, nothing. Just like a cylinder, not even a roof, really. It's just, comes to a squared top, and there's a door in the front.
For the path that we see, do we get a sense of how recent, how animal tracks you can tell recently tracked animals versus it's been several hours or maybe a day since these tracks were first made? Do we get a sense of how long it's been since the trails was here?
No.
Okay.
Not really.
Cliff Notes version. What are we looking for? And why?
We are looking for a blade that can quite literally cut or seal the veil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cuts through reality.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Currently it is being wielded by somebody whom we want it. So we are tracking see this shadowy bullshit? We're tracking the blade because we want it, because we need it to fight really big baddies that are currently trying to destroy this veil entirely.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the cliff notes.
Yep.
Do we know who has it?
Yeah,
Ditherian.
Ditherian.
Yeah, you said that name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of a fuckstick.
I mean, as far as we know a whole lot about them.
Yeah.
Magical?
He's big baddie boy.
He's the guy you saw in your dreams.
Yeah,
Yes.
that had the little girl with him.
Yes.
Yeah, he's an asshole. He's horrible.
Is he magical?
Yes.
Seems
to be
that
it.
way.
Seems
Yes.
to be it. Also, his little white girl, the little...
She's very strong.
but she's pale and creepy.
Okay.
She's also magical.
Yes, you saw him
Okay.
cast extremely high-level magic and the memory from the shield.
Yeah.
Alright.
Mhm.
He's really powerful.
And we needed to fight an even bigger baddie.
Yeah. We need
Mhm.
what he's having so that we can fight an even bigger baddie.
Okay. Got it.
Yep. This is one of a couple more steps we need before we can clean up this shit.
And the bigger baddie is trying to destroy the world. Is this guy trying to destroy the world, or he's just joyriding through planes?
Seems like he's bored and just joyriding through planes.
Okay.
Yeah, I imagine he has other motives, but for
You don't know
the-
them.
they're bad,
Okay.
and we don't give a fuck about them because we just want what he has.
I mean, he managed to pierce his way through a realm that no one's supposed to be able to get to, so that sounds really great.
Yeah. It's just
To potentially release a being that is super powerful.
Yep.
That was locked away by the gods, right? Luke
Yeah.
was locked away by the gods, yeah.
yeah.
Or banished or whatever,
Yeah, and he has
Okay.
help from a fae who's just bored out of his fucking mind
Mm-hmm.
and just wants to cause havoc.
Mm.
So there's a lot of powerful things influencing the ability for us to be able to get access to him without getting fucked with.
Okay. So we're gonna travel through the holes that he created to find him.
Seems to be that is the case.
But all right.
So
Let's go.
we're potentially walking through planes of existence that no one knows anything about.
Yes.
Can't be worse than going through the layers of the abyss, right?
You say that.
I'm hoping that.
But I have fallen infinitely before, and I did not love that one either.
There's a lot of realms out there,
Yeah.
All right.
so we'll find out.
Let's go.
I'm on DEFCON. I'm high alert.
So we're looking at just a plain cylindrical tower, right? So there's a door. Any holes that would be like windows, or is just a solid brick or
And we don't have like, any emblems or flags or anything that would denote. Cool.
Well, let's gently and carefully walk up to the door then. Seems to be the method.
I am immediately high alert, checking everything around us, making sure there's no traps in the like walkway up or anything like that.
Okay. Roll an investigation.
Investigation.
From
Connery.
Which now I have a +7 to my investigation.
Wait, do you have advantage?
What?
Do you have advantage?
No, but I have a +7.
Oh.
So that puts me at a 25.
Okay. You do not see anything.
Okay. I'm gonna tap my amulet that does the detect magic, and I'm gonna check the door to make sure that there's no like additional magical elements at play here.
Okay. Checking over the door, there is some magic on it. It doesn't seem to be a trap per se, just more like a seal.
Okay.
And interestingly, you see there's like some steps that go up to like a platform where the door is. And just to the right of that door is like a replica of that door, but only about this big.
Okay.
Is the seal on the tiny door too, or only on the big door?
There's some sort of magic on it, but it's not the same.
Do I get a sense that it is? What type of magic do I get a sense that it is?
Are you going to use
You're using your detect magic, right?
Yeah.
detect magic? Yeah.
Because it gives me the ability to know what type of magic is on these things. Because you said it was a seal on the big door.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Trying to figure out which one this would. I think they're going to be abjuration.
Both of them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just different, like much stronger on the big door.
Okay. I point that out because I'm like, that is what the amulet is telling me. Doesn't help that I don't know shit about magic. I know generally what abjuration does. Because that's,
Like shields, basically, right? Isn't that? Like it's like, the shield
what
spell
type of
is
wizard
abjuration.
was easy? Illusion or abjuration?
No, he was.
Abjure,
think
isn't
it-
it? Doesn't like keep
I think it
things
was
out,
evocation,
or
maybe.
Was it
I
evocation?
think it's
Because you
evocation.
could sculpt.
Gotcha. Okay, abjuration.
What was your question?
I thought it was like the barriers type thing, like where it keeps things out. Isn't that abjuration? Because it
Yeah, I think
Keeps-
you're right.
Possibly, yeah.
It's like protection magic.
yeah.
Okay, well, There's a big ass abjuration seal on the big door, and then the little micro door has a different magic, tiny version.
Like a speak friend and enter kind of situation. That'd be really pleasant.
That's not what I am seeing.
No.
Do I? Because I don't see anything that's.
There's no writing. It's just a general. Yeah.
Do you want to go try the big door or the little door?
I mean, the little door has the weaker magic on it. That's whatever.
Slightly less strong,
Yeah.
yes. I mean, comparatively strong to its size, I imagine.
I mean, looking around, there's this tower, and then there are trees, and that's it, right?
Roll a perception check.
Yeah, I also want to look and just see if anything looks like it noticed us coming. Because we sort of appeared out of nowhere.
Is the
21.
path? Does the path go to one of the two doors, or does it just go into the?
Right into the main door.
Okay.
It's a 21 for perception.
Okay. Looking around, you don't see anything that stands out. Just more trees,
Mhm.
kind of going off into darkness. Right now, it's about it's like early morning, like pre-sunrise at the moment, and so it's like you've got light coming up. So the forest is still kind of dark, but
Mhm.
you don't see anything,
The pathway goes to the big door.
and neither do you.
Okay.
I mean, what are we gonna do? We don't have that kind of magic user where we can just like get rid of the magic. So
It's true.
we just have to go in.
I mean, I could try, but...
I'm just gonna check the lock. Is it locked?
Yeah.
You try the knob, like the
I
handle,
was in darkness and couldn't do stuff.
and
so
it's not
I learned a way to keep that from happening.
it's not just locked. It doesn't move at all. Like there is no
Jiggle, jiggle.
at all, no movement to it whatsoever. The way it's built looks like it should, like a
Yeah.
normal latch, except
I'm-
really, really old.
I've seen a lot of doors. This latch would be an easy pick.
Yeah, it's old.
Yeah.
Like it's way older than the stuff you are used to seeing. that
What about the
have
little
survived,
door? Can you open the little door?
No.
Should I knock?
Sure.
What if it's just someone's house? Yeah, maybe they'll let us in.
I just knock on the big door.
Okay. You knock, and it is so solid it actually kind of hurts your hand to do so.
Oh, especially in cold weather. Ooh.
Oh,
Oof.
yeah, it's solid.
Even with my like leather gloves on, I'm just like, I'm not a tracker.
Mm.
There's a thick ass fucking
So-
door.
Stoic, who finally rolled a high enough history check.
That sounds about right.
Yep.
He just says, hold on a second. He reaches into his bag and he pulls out his box of paper that he's folded into different shapes at one point, and he opens the lid. And you guys who can see, and especially you can see and read anything, notice the name of the item. Ditherian's origami.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Ditherian's the bad guy.
Uh-huh.
And he takes it. He takes a sheet and sticks it back into his pouch and folds it into one of the shapes that he knows or that's usable from this item. The one that's shapes into like a little man. The one they used in the desert to find a structure. And he sets it right next to the small door. And the little paper man, kind of like comes to life and sort of like looks around, walks up to the door, opens it, and goes in.
The small door. Or just
The small door.
Okay.
After a moment, you hear a
Come open her door. Amazing. What the heck? Amazing.
Push the door open.
Push it open, and you can see there was like a little tiny gem that the little paper man had hit, and then just kind of falls limp.
That's
A way to protect your house. I love that. That's very cool.
Okay. Sure.
that's very helpful. Okay.
You guys got to stop being absent at one of the reveals.
I know. Stop it.
I'm pretty sure
I
that
feel
was a
like-
reveal. that
Yeah, a
we got-
couple weeks ago he was
Yeah.
like,
I
wait.
hinted. I
You
said,
said- yeah,
"What is the
absolutely
name of the item?"
Yeah, and he said, "Oh, I
never
remember."
remembered.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh yeah."
He never linked it was that
Nope.
guy.
Oh my gosh. Amazing.
Yep. You've had that name for a long time.
Yep. But he never really ever talked about it.
Uh-huh.
He never said much about it.
Nope.
Like,
It opens to some stairs. Very classic spiral stairs kind of going up on the inside of this
playing
tower.
that video game, I can't get past the stairwell.
And so you make your way up the stairs.
Yep. High alert. Sir is just like.
As you crawl up, you notice there's some dust that has settled. Not as much as you would expect. Not because it seems like it's been in use, but because it's been sealed. So there's only so much that can get in. Once the door closes behind you, it is very quiet, like dead quiet. Every sound making extra noise as you traverse the stairs. You can roll another perception check for working your way through this.
That is going to be.
Your detect magic is still up.
Thank you. That's gonna be a 26.
Okay. And as you start up the stairs, by the way, you can't help but have a moment of thinking just how fortunate it is that out of all the places in the world, you end up in that dragon's horde. Out of all the massive amounts of items you could have picked, you pick up that item. And the two of you hear, just in the back of your minds, a female giggle. And then it's gone.
I do immediately look at you when I hear it. I'm like,
Yeah.
So, you make your way up these stairs, and before long, you end up in a place that kind of flattens out before it continues on, and there's a door that's open. And peeking inside, you see what looks like a very simple bedroom with a large bed. You see some very simple kind of everyday items, though very old. Not you can tell this room has not been touched for a very, very long time. You can tell that it looks like two people used to live there, but you can see like the wood on the bed is, like one of the legs has kind of fallen out of rot, and the sheets have rotted to a point, and the whole place just looks to various levels of deterioration and untouched by time, or untouched by living beings for a long, long time. And so continuing up the stairs, it flattens out again to another door that you see open. This one with, this one's very different. This one seems like a child's room. A very ancient child's room. with toys, a bed, except all of this seems new. Like some sort of magical preservation on the place. Like it was just left yesterday. And someone could have slept in it last night, for all you know. You continue on.
Is there any magic to that space?
Yeah. I don't remember what school it is gonna be. Enchantment, I think.
Okay.
That is preserving it. Or at least you guess that's what it's doing.
I was like, I am not a student of magic, so I'm just like, okay, there's magic here. It is this kind of magic.
Are there any pictures in there?
There are some there's like a little desk, and you can see where there's some what looks like kids' drawings sitting on the desk, like with some bits of like charcoal, like pencils and things like that, on what looks like very old school parchment.
Okay.
Parchment that, like everything else, shouldn't have survived this long. But,
Yeah.
There it is. I think you would see one of the drawings has a drawing of a man with a beard and some robes, holding hands with another woman and a little girl standing between them. Just a very rough kid's drawing of it, but you get the idea of a family.
Okay.
But continuing on. You eventually reach the top where it opens out into what looks like a workspace or an office of some sort, and surprisingly barren for what you might expect from a wizard's tower. Whoever wants to can roll an investigation check.
That is going to be a 17.
Okay. So, looking around this place, most of this place is not preserved either. Like, you can see there were shelves at one point that mostly have collapsed. You can see the decayed remnants of what were probably books and scrolls that are long past readability or recognizability of any kind. Except for one book, which is open on the desk.
Walk over and
Is that where the
Okay.
trail leads?
Yep. Right up to the book.
walk up to it.
Don't speak anything out loud yet.
I just start reading, like skimming the pages that are open.
Okay. So, you look where the trail leads, looking into the book, and as you kind of stand over it to look down into it, weirdly, you see yourself, and Valen's gone.
Fuck. Jesus fucking Christ.
Go to the book. I go to the book.
You look in it,
Yep.
you see yourself, and Rowan's gone,
I push Stoic to follow them.
and Stoic disappears.
Before I look, I just want to quickly scan the room and see if there's anything that looks like it had been pried open and not fully put back. So like a stone in the wall or like a floorboard or something that looks like something got hidden in this room before they left.
Okay. Roll another investigation check.
Come on, give me something good. That's me 26.
Okay. No, not that you can see.
Great.
Take a few minutes to look around, and you don't see anything hidden. It's like I said, it's surprisingly straightforward as far as what you're seeing here. It's weird in
bucket, and I just look in the I look in the bucket.
Okay. You all find yourselves suddenly stepping into a realm that looks almost like it's made of a mirror-like substance. You find it full of strangely shaped creatures walking about, not in familiar forms, but all made of this substance. But as you enter and you start to walk forward, part of the substance nearby kind of rises up out of the ground and seems to form into alternate versions of you.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that.
And we're going to take a break.
Oh god. Oh fuck. I hate this.
Uh-huh. Oh boy. I know where this goes.
Maybe it's fine.
Mega Sarah.
That turns out she's actually a really cool dude, you know?
So it's like, not again.
I know that's immediately what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So I
For
was
the
like,
third time.
yeah.
Oh, man.
But it's strange that it's like if I had a nickel for every time.
Oh, boy.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we will return in about 10 minutes.
Yep.
No.
See what's going on. Be right back.
Ah.
All right, welcome back. So, getting back into it. You guys have stepped out into a realm, a landscape that, like I said, looks like it's made out of chrome, like mirror material. Looks something like that.
Ooh.
Wow.
Chrome! All I can think of was the SpongeBob meme.
In the distance, you see a firefox running around. And you are the explorers. And your navigator died. Just like in real life.
That's such a stupid joke. I loved it so much. I hate it here.
Anyway.
Fix my invisible glasses. I did. I was like, wait, there's nothing on my face.
So. You saw this, and some of the substance of the land itself lifted up and formed itself into alternative versions of you. Valen, you have blue skin. You're not very muscular. You're just kind of wearing very simple peasant garb. Asura has wings, like gray feather wings. Your horns are like ram's horns with more yellowish skin. You have red skin with your hair looking like it's on fire, kind of like a fire genasi. And Stoic looks short and hunched and thin.
Not a good look.
Yeah, and bald, like an old decrepit version of Stoic.
Kind of looks cute, Bob.
You see them form, and kind of like you see each of them sort of like looking at themselves, and you see some of the other creatures that are passing by. Some of them seem to like catch their attention at them. None of them seem to notice you. But then they sort of like, after a little bit, it's like they're examining themselves, and then they just sort of like, almost like sink into some sort of purpose and walk off, falling into the stream of other creatures, walking around and doing whatever it is they're doing.
Is the path... Do we see a path right now?
The smoky path that we've been following?
Yeah.
No. That's weird.
Don't like it.
I don't like that either. I don't need another variation of me walking in any realm.
Weird variations.
Are we casting any reflections?
No.
Are they?
Or any of the creatures.
It's hard to tell because they are reflective themselves. So does a mirror reflect a mirror?
Yes.
You can see some reflections of like skies or things
Mm.
like that. You know, it's like it's reflecting something of the world around it. But
Okay.
as you look at the reflections of everything you see doesn't seem to match up to what else is around you.
More like we're looking into something versus...
Yeah, it's
it
like a
being-
reflection of something else that is not where you're at. You know, a lot of it has kind of familiar aspects to it. You know, it's like you can see mountains in the distance that remind you of mountains you're familiar with, but not quite. You know, the sky reminds you of a normal sky, but not quite. Some of the creatures are a little weirder than you've seen before for sure, but sometimes they almost seem to remind you of a bird or a dog or a cow.
So we're getting like early AI art vibes right now.
It's a bit
It's
of
like,
an
well, it's kind of a dog, but
it's like an uncanny valley situation.
Yeah. Do you continue?
We're
Yeah.
gonna follow our path, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm
They're
like
not messing with us.
Yeah, I'm just
Leave us
like I'm
alone.
just like really like periodically just kind of like checking the vibes of things like you said that things like are suddenly like walking as if they have purpose in this realm.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of like trying to figure out like what the pattern is here.
So, you continue walking, following this black mist of power, and you notice as you walk, your steps in this place seem to have like a little bit of a ripple in the ground as you walk. And after you go, some of the like as you walk, sets of the steps, the ripples almost seem to ripple and merge, and another variation of you looks around and looks confused, like they don't know how they got there, and then eventually join this world.
Is it like every step we take, something like that?
No, it's like
happens?
every so many steps. It's like those steps then merge into a.
Should we be walking?
I
Should
don't know.
we-
I bust out the carpet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Suddenly I'm like I don't like that things keep coming up that look like different variations of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I bust out the carpet.
Okay. So you get on the carpet
Yeah.
and hop onto it, and start flying across this strange landscape.
Does the carpet cast a reflection?
No, but you do see some sort of disturbance in the air as you fly, and eventually the disturbance sort of coalesces behind you into a group of alternative figures. They're different each time, like different features, different aspects, variations of you.
I don't think it matters what we do. We're leaving a trail here.
Someone can roll a Arcana,
Who's the best arcana?
or just a straight
Oh,
intelligence
yeah.
check.
I have a
either
plus
way.
5.
For arcana?
Anybody who wants to.
Go for it.
Why not? Let's just all roll.
Okay.
15.
13.
9.
Wow. Mine's a straight roll.
15 was highest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You don't know exactly for sure what's going on, but you almost get the impression that this whole place is just mirroring something else. Like it's like creating an alternative version of another plane. And your presence, being from that plane, is creating more things to mirror.
So I get the sense that it's mirroring the prime plane that we come from. Mm-hmm. So it's mirroring our plane, and we are just populating it.
It's almost like echoes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you shout into a chasm and you hear your voice back, but it sounds different.
Mm-hmm.
I was not ready yet to be a mother.
Let's just move as quickly as we can.
Yeah.
I'm driving this thing following the shadow.
Follow the smoke.
You follow it for a ways. You can see it seems to branch off and go different directions at times, but then you can see it going off into the distance, but then a short distance ahead of you it seems to come back. So you could go off in a long detour if you want, or you can just pick it up.
I'm trying to be as direct as
Yeah,
possible.
most
Yeah.
direct path possible.
But you get the impression that there was some exploration happening,
Uh-huh.
some wandering happening. But eventually, and this is another one of those where it's like time gets kind of weird because you don't know if time is working the same way in this place. You don't know what time it is or how much time has passed for you and your perception. But at some point, you reach a place where you can see what looks like a tear, like a cut. Where the mist goes straight in.
Back up the carpet.
Hop off the carpet, yep. And probably just examine the rift first before we jump straight. How wide is it?
It's not terribly wide.
Yeah.
You kind of get the impression the size isn't truly
Right.
important. Like the size. Roll either history or arcana.
Same for me either way. 6.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't know. I mean,
Yep.
there is some of the tear that seems to be of, like it has kind of that black smoke quality around it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's of the same essence of this mist that you're following.
Just go right on through.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah. Nice. Go up to the rift and try to step through the best I can figure how.
Okay. For narrative purposes, you guys carefully begin to travel through the plains. Trying to be as careful as you can, you cross through a number of strange places. You travel at one point through a mystical forest full of familiar creatures, like forest creatures who speak and seem to have a society of their own. Their problems are small problems. Their life far simpler than most. They greet you warmly and with like curiosity, and you probably find it a little hard to pull yourself away from that welcome and that appeal of such relative innocence. You travel through a realm of what looks like a river, but when you look at it, you can see it's made up of millions, billions, trillions of strands of fate. And you see branching off into tributaries from this river possible outcomes and futures. And you see a being, a glowing being who is known to all who enter this place, known as the Constructor, who builds great aqueducts that guide the main body of the river for some plane of existence. You don't know which, but you have a feeling it's a lot like Adandra.
Mm-hmm.
You continue on through a garden of translucent crystal. All the creatures therein are transparent, and you discover that you have to walk with great care lest you break everything you touch. The creatures there are in awe of you and your strength. They've never seen something so solid, and you seem to them unbreakable. The king of that place tries to get you to stay and carry out his will against his enemies, but
Naturally.
really can offer you a very little of value and does not really understand your purpose and why you have to leave. You pass through an infinite white plain. The creatures there are two-dimensional and only perceive you as the shape of your boots appearing and disappearing in their world as you walk. You can tell somehow from their movements the excitement and fear and agitation and curiosity of these strange shapes appearing in their world and disappearing, some mysterious and unfathomable thing to them.
Put my hand down and do this to wave.
Right. And you perceive that this must might be a taste of what it's like when spiritual creatures interact with you and your plane. Things you can only perceive in 3 dimensions, yet are truly beyond them. And you wonder if you'll become the subject of supernatural tales to these strange creatures. You pass through plane after plane like this, just strange and weird, sometimes dangerous, sometimes peaceful. Until you eventually find yourself in a dark realm of kind of an ambient gray light. And all around you, you see buildings and plants that don't seem dead, but all seem to be in various states of crumble and decay. Not like it's old, not like something that is dying. It's different somehow. And you see very few creatures in this realm, but they all look in various states of desiccation and decay. Somehow almost like they're in the process of decay even as they're moving around and doing their thing. The one who's closest to you that you passed by at one point is himself reading a tome of some sort.
Hello?
Hi.
You see it like kind of jerk and almost, kind of like struggle to move a bit and kind of looks at you. And, what's it? You did not decay.
We do decay, but
It takes a while.
it takes a while. And generally it requires us to not be conscious or alive when it happens. I mean, we kind of do it while we're alive too, but it is different.
I've heard of this. You live.
Yes.
We do not go and die. We are born and decay until we are no more.
Does it hurt?
No. But nor is it pleasurable.
I would imagine not. What are you reading?
A simple book about food.
I see. Do you eat?
Yes.
What do you eat?
Whatever we can.
I see. Fun. I immediately start getting on the tip, like a little bit like, oh shit. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'd like to have you for dinner.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I'm supposed to talk to you further to get more information out of you. However, you make me feel very uneasy. I immediately kind of back up a little bit if anyone else wants to talk to him, and I'm like starting to look around to see if there's anything else that's like interested in us.
First, I'll
does she see anything that's looking at us like interest, like it's interested in us?
Roll a perception check.
That is going to be a 23.
No.
And going back to the being here in front of us, have you seen another that looks similar to us?
Alive?
Alive? Not in a state of decay?
No. But there are those who do not decay.
Are they here?
He kind of lifts another horrible looking hand and
Temple of the Well.
Does the shadow go towards the Temple of the Well?
Mhm.
Or like our little pathway?
Great, great, great.
What is the Temple of the Well?
Holds a well of infinite power.
I see.
They keep others from going there.
How many of them are there?
The father and the daughter.
What about the mother?
I know no mother.
Maybe that's what they were looking for. A way to like.
I think we might have something.
What do they look like?
Old and blind.
Just her or both of them?
One of each.
Well,
Do you have any information that would give us advantage to make our way over there?
I am tired.
I'm gonna give him one of my good berries.
and kind of like slumps back against the rags that are draped over some rocks that he's kind of sitting against, and he kind of looks at it for a second. And
This is what you were reading about. It's a berry. It's food.
he reaches for and he takes it, and he like slowly kind of takes it to his mouth, and you see his mouth kind of open with this kind of cracking,
Ooh.
crackling noise, and
I've had TMJ too.
yeah.
Life in your world is what this feels like. More.
You only get one more if you give us information.
I told you.
What other secret are you keeping?
Roll an insight check.
Oh, I'm not great at insight. I just upped my investigation, but not my insight.
How are you not good at insight?
Because it's a wisdom. I've bolstered my intelligence. Nat 20!
Wow.
Let's go.
Okay.
So 21.
He doesn't seem to be hiding anything. He just told you that they're not allowed to go. Nobody's allowed to go there. He knows everyone seems to know they're there. He doesn't seem very interested in it. Just kind of like it's a thing that's there.
It's a fact of life.
Yeah,
It just
like
exists.
We're not allowed to go there.
But he is also very desperately wanting more of her good berries.
I'll give him one more before we leave.
The last one you'll ever
He
have.
like kind of lunges a little bit, like with a titanic struggle to do so, and grabs it from you and shoves it in.
Savor it.
More,
There is no more.
more, more, and he like moves forward and basically like crackling, and you can even see bits of him like falling apart as he is just saying that over and over and crawling toward you.
This is so sad.
Just let's back up.
Yeah, I'll back up.
Yeah, and start. I mean, walking towards the temple.
If he follows us, though, I'm.
Okay. I mean, he's crawling, but it's like
So slow.
Yeah, it's
so
like
slow.
not gonna catch up with us.
You know, still for his version, which is of screaming, which is basically just a hoarse whisper.
Yeah.
You just continue on. Okay.
Yeah.
If I get a sense, though, that I can still hear him in the distance after a while, like he's still following us, I will shoot him if he gets near us.
Okay.
Well, he's got at least 2 hit points, so.
Okay. So you pass through, following it looks like it's a road, or it was a road, or something. But you just get this weird feeling about this place. Like it's like the whole place is in a state of decay.
Mm-hmm.
What little creatures you do see seem to be in various states of that. Some of them look more lively, but seem, and so they're a little more energetic. But it's almost like, based on what he told you and what you're seeing, it's almost like instead of like being born as a baby, growing up, and then getting old and then dying and decaying, it's like they're just born new and then just decay over time. You know, and you ponder at what it's like. You said they are not decaying, but are not alive.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that mean to be in this realm but not dying? And so you continue forward until eventually you reach what looks like a large building of very strange architecture. Almost kind of temple-like in construction, but not like a temple you've ever seen before. Doesn't seem to carry any symbols or anything like that that you can see. And get the feeling that even if there was, you don't think you'd recognize it anyway. It's like, this is not like a building you've ever seen before. It's just different. And it feels somehow more old. Like it's been there longer. And you do see evidence of decay on it too, but you get this impression like it's a lot slower than the rest of the world around it. Or possibly being renewed slowly as it decays, who knows? But somehow you get the impression it's been there for a very long time. And there are 2 doors on the outside, like larger doors. What would you like to do?
And it's going straight through both of them. Is there a way that we can be a little less detected on our way in?
Like it's stealthy? Yeah, I can make us more stealthy.
That would be appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely want us to be as like hush-hush as possible on our way in.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll cast Pass Without a Trace.
Okay. Then roll stealth checks.
Do you want to roll for Stoic or do you roll for Stoic?
I'm gonna use one of my luck points.
Wow.
That's a
I
plus.
rolled a natural one.
Oh.
I rolled another natural one.
I don't.
I'm gonna switch my dice and use another luck point. I'm gonna use them all right here.
Yeah.
That's a 3. That's better than a 1.
Wow.
Thank goodness. I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay. 28.
Yeah, I rolled a 38. Stoic rolled a 28.
I also rolled a 38.
Okay. All right. So, you go up and open the door.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm very gentle about it to try to minimize any.
It actually doesn't make as much noise as you would think.
Sounds like this place is decay, so I was just assuming that it would make like a horrific like.
Yeah, it's like whatever is happening in this realm doesn't seem to be exactly the way it decays or age happens to things in your realm. It's
Does it feel like metal? Like, is it a metal door? Did you say? Does it feel like? Is the texture the same as it is in our worlds, or does it feel different?
it feels more like stone.
Okay.
Don't know what kind of stone, but
Yeah.
something closer to stone.
Okay.
But yeah, it's not quite as loud as you expect it to be, especially a door that size or this old. And you push it open. Inside, it just opens up into a massive room with columns going down on either side. You see that this room is the effects of something is stronger on the inside than what you were seeing on the outside. You see places where in the ground where it's almost like pieces of the floor have like decayed around into blackness, almost like it's decaying into nothing. You see a space like toward ahead of you where it's there's like a kind of a semicircle of black where there's like cracks of this decaying and this eroding coming out from it. You see stairs leading up around that semicircle up to a raised area, and there's another pair of massive doors behind. You get the impression these doors have not been opened in who knows how long. But that's not... Oh, and you also see, interestingly and weirdly, it's almost like whatever forces are happening in this building is interacting with the realm itself. And it's almost like some of that decay is like liquid. Almost like parts of the building are like liquid decay. Like it's melting away almost. Into this sort of weird purplish liquid down the walls. you get the impression it's a very, very slow process, but something is happening here. At the top of this raised area, however, is what draws your eye, because you see in the center of it a kind of relatively short stone round thing. And at it's basically just a short round stone wall almost, and you can't really see from this angle. That's basically what you see. But standing behind it is a figure, and you know this figure. You've seen him in your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
But not like this. What you saw before was an older man, old but spry, clearly moving around perfectly fine. You saw him healthy, you saw him strong. You saw him dressed in nice black robes trimmed in gold. And you saw gray in his beard, this grizzled, but it was fine. That's not how he looks today. Today, he looks like this.
Oh, hell no.
Wow.
He's so creepy.
You see him, his arms are out on the edges of what you assume is the well. And he is just kind of hunched forward, staring down into the well, and does not seem to notice you.
Is the shadowy pathway pointing to him, or is it going
Roll a
past
perception
him?
check.
I'll help out with that.
You help out with it?
Yep.
That is going to be a 26.
You do see the path go up to him, and peeking just over the wall at his hip, the hilt of a sword that seems cut out of reality, pitch black.
Do I get a sense of where the girl is, the daughter?
No.
I can't hear her, can't see her. I don't feel anything within my new 10-foot proprioception. I'm gonna slowly walk forward to find a hidey hole, a hiding spot, because of all these pillars, so that I can keep an eye on this room, but have what to me feels like relative cover.
Okay. So, you step forward, and you hear a voice.
Oh shit.
Do not disturb my father.
And we don't see anything. This is like a disembodied voice.
Roll a perception check.
Can I do it too, where I try to pinpoint where the voice is coming from?
Oh yeah, that's what I do it. That's a 7.
Another 26.
Okay. It seems in the room, a rough direction forward.
Near him?
No, not that far.
Just how the voice is bouncing off.
I stay to my little spot where I kind of tucked. And I just try to see if I can see her.
It is long since any dared to come to this place. Long have all known not to disturb his noble work. Yet you do not decay. True life, then, from beyond.
You're hiding, right? Are you doing anything?
I was gonna talk to her.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. step out. She knows we're there, so I'm not going to try to hide anything. Oh man.
I do actually want to like start to hide to see if I can like be undetected.
Okay, roll stealth check.
That is going to be a plus I still have the additional 10. So that's going to be 38 again.
Okay.
I want to slowly kind of like try to push my way towards him a little bit.
And I'm slowly walking towards the altar, dais, whatever this thing is, this raised platform. Not in a threatening way, not in an aggressive way, just kind of...
Well, you take a few steps, and then you hear, "Cease. Carry forth on your travels and leave us be."
I don't think I'm trying to hide anything. We're actually here, nodding toward the sword for that.
More silly enemies, then.
We don't have to be.
You seek to take that which he needs.
And what does he need it for? What's his noble purpose?
You see, shimmering out of invisibility, you see her step out of it and step into the middle of the room. You see the girl that you've seen before, but looks a little bit different, as 1,000 years might do, at least in dress.
She discovered fashion. What is that?
But still young, still looking similar to what you've seen in your vision, unlike him. You see, her where she wore simpler white dresses in your visions, slightly different clothing, but generally the same. But she walks with ominous purpose. She walks like doom, and very slowly, a step after step, and says, "Father has the most noble of purposes. We will tolerate no interruption."
What's his purpose?
Have you ever lost someone?
In a manner of speaking, yes.
You have known the pain, the emptiness, the regret of all the words that you will never be able to speak, never get to say, all the days you'll never get to spend with them, all the meals you'll no longer enjoy together, the dances you'll never dance, the laughter you'll never share. A great emptiness. A great sadness. Do not the most savage tears come from such things?
Yes.
And if you could end it, If you could be reunited with the ones you love that you've lost, if you could end all such pain for everyone forever, would you not do so? Roll a religion check with advantage for me real quick.
I'm like, it's a natural part of life. Natural 20.
Wow.
Hey,
To you, this, she is talking about death,
Yeah.
something you believe is natural. Something
Yeah,
that
that's
is
what I
just-
was thinking,
that is a
more in-
healthy part
yeah.
of the universe, a necessary part. This is very disturbing in that way.
Yeah.
Loss is part of life. It's something that happens to us all. Death, loss, pain. To try to change that, that's dealing with forces and power that's beyond us.
Quite.
So,
So then,
No.
leave. And let those who have such power and understanding end it on your behalf.
that's dangerous. For anyone.
But necessary.
No. Not necessary. The opposite is necessary.
How cruel you are.
Realistic. Understanding.
Then you think too small. You say you are realistic. Change reality.
It's not mine to change.
Then I say again, leave it to those who can.
It's not yours to change either. Or his.
But it can be.
Clearly.
how close am I?
Give us 30, a little over 30 feet.
Do I sense that he has any sort of protection around him right now?
I mean, detect magic wouldn't go that far. You're pretty far from him.
Roger.
You're just 30 feet from, like, a little over 30 feet from
This.
her. Like, he's like almost 100 feet away.
Okay. Do I get a sense that she has any protection on her?
What's the range on your? Well, actually, you would have been done with detect magic.
Yeah, that's what I was. I was either
gonna.
gonna do it again, but I need. I am. Hold on. Give me just 1 second. Let me pull it back up again. It doesn't give me. It doesn't give me a radius. It just says an amulet
Detect magic?
carrying.
Presence of magic within 30
30
feet. of
feet,
you.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's out of range, so you don't know.
Okay. He's 100 feet away from me right now. If I kept moving, does she notice me moving? When she immediately called for a halt?
You don't know. She's wearing a blindfold.
Hmm.
You know, it's like you don't know what she can sense or see. She doesn't seem to be acting blind per se,
Yeah.
but you have no idea what's enabling that.
Mm-hmm.
And in your visions, you saw her acting not so blind,
Yeah.
but you know she is. Because you saw her as a little girl actually blind.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously something is enabling her to sense.
When I look around, do I, other than we know that he's currently carrying the blade, do I see anything else unique in this space that is theirs, that does not seem like it's part of this realm, that's like amplifying power, is providing any sort of additional something in this space that wouldn't be here otherwise? Like any
No,
new
I mean-
runes that they've drawn, any additional
mean-
like apparatus she has on her person?
Other than the well itself, which who knows what that is, you know, or how it works, or what it can do.
Okay. I'm still hiding.
But all this is happening, and he has not moved.
Yeah.
He has not looked. He has not reacted. He doesn't seem to even know you're there.
And we can't see what's in.
Not from this.
Gotcha. Alright.
And we're still 100 feet away from him, too. Okay.
Yep.
Are you... Is he doing this, like pointing around to the decay that's happening?
No.
This is part of this realm?
Yes. Have you not seen outside?
I have, but I'm also not the one messing with reality. That can have unintended or otherwise complicated consequences.
Yes.
You-
It is clear you do not understand.
well,
But
to
it is
understand-
not our doing.
That's fair. I do understand that you are weakening the barriers between realms. Is that intended?
Not all.
Fair view.
Only those that pertain to death.
It's really dangerous.
As many good things are.
And
All
why?
heroes must endeavor through danger.
And why?
Most who lose those who they love ask why they lose them. Yet you ask, why would you bring them back? Why would you reunite with them? Did you not truly love them?
No, I ask why tear holes? Why rip reality apart?
He has done no such thing. He has made the smallest of holes in his explorations for that which may aid him in his quest. But there are many such portals in the universe.
But most of them don't lead to, and I forgot the name of it. Where is Lucran again? Is it like the Banished Realm or something like that?
Rift.
It's just called Rift. But as far as I know, none of them lead to Rift.
Yes. That was an unfortunate discovery. But we did not continue there. We did not even enter it, nor did we open it enough for those who dwell there to come through.
Did you reseal it?
It was not prudent to do so at the time.
Didn't Alanya tell, like, her story, didn't they went in there and spoke with Lucrin?
They said they spoke with him. I don't know if they.
That's,
you don't know
I'm
if they
thinking
went
of,
in.
what's his
Fa-
Farian,
yeah.
yes, that's
Yeah.
right. I was mixing that up. Okay.
You don't really know what they did
Yeah.
or didn't do, or if they talked to him. It was just you just
Yeah.
saw him open it.
Yep. That's right.
In episode 1.
I was confusing a couple of things there. So you didn't seal it, even though you tore it open, cut it open, whatever. That's careless. Because you did that, it opened up a place for a powerful being to set a lot of stuff in motion.
Oh, children. The Void Blade does not open such holes that can be opened wider. It is not uncontrolled in that way. It's not some clumsy implement devised by man. It is beyond mortal powers. If any holes were made bigger, it was not by our doing. The holes we made would not be sufficient for such beings to cross.
No, you were the only ones cutting holes into these realities. No one else could have done that. You went to a realm of banishment.
As I have said, it was a fruitless discovery.
Fruitless.
And we left. We did not enter. We left. And we left nothing. We let nothing out.
Sorry, I didn't catch that last part.
We let nothing out.
You left the door open.
All good things come with risk. But with the absence of death, all life will be united. And together we can stand against anything that might threaten our universe. I know it is hard for you to understand. You speak of things which you know so little of. Like a child trying to sound out the alphabet looking at a piece of literature. I know. But like a child, you must trust the ones who are older and wiser.
The older ones we trust say you're doing something wrong. And that's why we're here.
All who are in power will obviously oppose any who wish to take it from them. Such is the nature of oppression. And those who rule such realms as death and the planes therein are our oppressors.
I'm going to prepare an action. The minute I see her shift in any way that's no longer conversational, I'm shooting her.
you been here? By yourself, just staring at your dad, staring into water, or something.
Great things require patience. It's difficult for mortals to understand.
Yeah, I'm not a patient person. That's fair.
I'm fairly patient, but it seems like thousands of years might be stretching it a little bit. What's the well?
It is a well of power.
Very vague. And in a more nuanced, perhaps specific way, what's your father doing?
You who understand so little of what can be known would seek to know the infinite.
Humor me.
I do find it humorous. But it cannot be explained to you.
So you don't understand it. Okay.
And if I were to explain it, you would not accept it. That is clear to me.
That's also very true.
If you would seek to understand it, you must rid yourself of the bonds that restrict you from understanding.
People that talk like that really scare me.
Everyone is afraid of things they don't understand.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, and so he's 100 feet away from me. She's 30 feet away from us right now?
Yeah.
Okay. And is she... I don't know, for some reason this image gives me like visions like she's floating in the air, but is she just on the ground? Like...
Yeah, she's
Okay.
just standing. She seems poised and controlled, and you do get an ominous feeling from her,
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. I don't need to make a roll for that.
You know, I mean, you've seen enough. You know there's danger,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
but she doesn't seem worked up. She seems calm and in control.
Yeah. I'm gonna cross behind and be joining sort of where you are, but farther back. Just so that you're not standing in front of her alone.
I've got to imagine, just knowing how Stoic is, Stoic would probably be right there.
Oh, if he's up there, then I'll say
I've got to imagine Stoic would be like, it'd be the Bash Brothers here. We just supposed to stand up and stupidly like, yeah, what are you gonna do about it? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I just don't want you to be standing up there. Look.
I mean, we'll see what happens.
Okay. I say again, it is best if you just leave. Continue on with your journey.
Well, this is where our journey takes us. And it feels like we're at a bit of an impasse right now.
You
I
know
know I
what's
don't-
great about someone trying to stop death is that if we die in this fight, we're gonna come back anyways, and I shoot her.
As soon as that arrow releases, I go too.
Roll initiative.
Oh boy.
Do I get
Are we
any
gonna do this-
sort of?
are we gonna say we're gonna do this
Actually, yeah,
tonight?
we'll just say
Okay.
this. We're gonna say,
Roll initiative and we'll hold it for next week.
yeah.
Do I get a surprise at least?
No,
Okay.
because what happens is you guys both shoot, and you see her momentarily like, and then come right back as the arrows shoot past her with her held action, and she says, "All right, I shall introduce you to that which we will save you from."
Oh!
And then we'll end it.
That's actually a hell of a good line.
That is a really good line.
That's a I do desire we be better strangers kind of line. It takes you a second. You're like, oh, I see what you did there.
Yep.
I hate that I rolled really high on my initiative.
Me too.
Oh, fair.
Well, not crazy high. High for me. I feel like I've always rolled really terribly for initiative.
I rolled a 28 for my initiative.
Oh my
I rolled a
gosh.
19 plus my 9.
Let's go.
Because the first feat I ever took was alert.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
Because Sir's a little anxious little baby.
Yeah.
Paranoid, always on edge.
Since I had you roll initiative before I made that call, let me just record these real quick.
Okay.
You want to let Stoic roll his next week?
Sure.
Okay. We about to find something powerful.
Yeah. We're not gonna change her mind though with talking.
Oh,
It's
no.
a win-win. If she wins, then we're coming back and we can fight her again as ghosts.
Right? We defeat, or they defeat death, and we just
We rise up against her and
we just
try to put
haunt
it
her.
back in order.
Haunt her for infinity.
Exactly. You promised me this was gonna be good. Look how terrible it is. Isn't it annoying how I'm poking you as a ghost?
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. For all of eternity.
Are you feeling chilly?
So what did you get?
19.
16.
Okay. Stoic's almost certainly behind you.
Oh, I'm sure you will be.
Definitely.
It usually is. So, cool.
Well,
Yep.
these are two very powerful beings.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
At least one
You
of them
have
is.
found the people you saw at the very opening scene of episode 1.
Yep.
Yep.
We had a dream about these people.
You've come
very
full circle.
5 years ago.
5 years ago,
we had
we
this
had
dream.
Wow. Amazing. Oh.
Man. Yeah. That's going to be an interesting fight next week. Uh-huh.
We gonna die.
Kind of feels that way. Kind of feels that way.
Definitely feel that way.
Yeah. Not gonna.
Should have taken healing word. Oh well.
I am excited. So,
Are you?
He's like, yes.
I get to kill the party.
5 years working towards this fight here, so yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, man,
Nice.
we're going to have to be on our P's and Q's next week.
Yep. Nobody can miss.
Yeah. Yes, talk to your dice. Make
Yep.
sure they understand.
Hey, baby.
Next week.
How you feeling?
All nat 20s. Nat 20s only. Do you understand?
Do you not say sexy, delicious words to your dice?
Only in private.
We're into that. We don't mind. We don't mind other people joining us. We've always played publicly anyway.
Oh.
Everyone knows what we get up to.
Well,
Yep.
good stuff. Good stuff.
Uh-huh.
Scary.
So much insanity has happened.
Uh-huh.
So, that we will continue next week
Uh-huh.
and see what happens.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Heck yeah.
I'm just like,
Heck
Uh-huh.
yeah. All right. So, we'll see you next week.
Next week.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.